it away, Lauren.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning for our webinar on how Microsoft Copilot simplifies your workday. We have with us today Juan Carlos Boacoma, CEO of CIO Landing, and Mauro Cretari, our Director of Operations. Each of them has many years of experience with IT and helping businesses simplify their workdays with AI automation and helping them empower businesses with technology. And now I'll turn it over to Juan Carlos.
Thank you, Lauren. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. And we will be covering the following points. One, what Microsoft Copilot is, how it can help you with emails, meetings, and documents. We're going to be running through several examples on Outlook, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and then how you can get started, how your organization can get started with Copilot. And we're going to have Q&As, of course, and a prize giveaway. So with that, why Copilot? And Mauro is going to tell you a little bit about that.
So good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Lauren, for the presentations. So why Copilot? So first of all, Copilot is an AI assistant. Many of you might have heard about ChatGPT. Well, ChatGPT is kind of the backbone for Copilot, but Copilot specifically is a Microsoft product that is already built into the tools we use every day. That is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams. Copilot, it is already there. It's not something that you need to install or deploy or contact your IT to do it. It's already there. And that, of course, gives it a lot of capabilities. And we will explore some of those capabilities today. Copilot can assist you with your everyday work, what you do, again, on a daily basis, emails, meetings, documents, summarizing, comparing, doing a lot of stuff that we do for work and help us with that. And why we chose Copilot? Because it's one of the best places to start using this technology called generative AI. It has, as we said, the benefit of being directly into the Microsoft applications, and Microsoft is expanding this. So you will see Copilot more and more, even into Windows, which is also a Microsoft product. It works securely into your Microsoft environment. What this means is think of Copilot as exactly what it is, an AI assistant. So just like any assistant, Copilot will only have access to what you have access to, right? So let's say I work on the marketing department, and I do have access in my company to marketing files and folders, right? And some files and folders, some people from other departments share with me. Then when I talk and chat with Copilot, Copilot will have the same access as I do. It will know all the emails that I have, all my team's chats conversation, all the OneDrive files that I have. But again, only the ones that I have access to. It won't get into other departments folders or department files or any file that is restricted to me, okay? And as we will see today, it will help us to complete tasks faster, 10 times faster than we can do it manually.
So, so the question is, how can help? And Mauro already alluded to that, and both of us are going to give you examples. And so some of the repetitive tasks like drafting and summarizing and organizing, and I will show you how that's done. And then quick recaps. That's one of the things that tended to take a lot of time for me, going to an email and, how I need a recap on how I should reply an email. And then summarizing, maybe putting bullet points and dig through information. So a lot of that stuff that, not that you can't do it, but it does it for you, and it gets you there 80, 90% of the way. And all you have to do is just touch it up a little bit so it fits what you really want to say. And so the benefits are, of course, you're making smarter, faster decisions because you have time to focus on what you can do uniquely. Some of the legwork of summarizing, of bringing information together is not something you need to worry about, but really think about strategically what you want to do, what you want to say, and the work that you can uniquely do. And then additionally, you can collaborate a lot easier than you could before. And by bringing information that has been parsed through so that everyone can take action a lot faster and smarter. So the demos that we're going to do, we'll do the first couple of demos on Outlook and Word, and Mauro will do an Excel and PowerPoint. So you'll see this is going to be a real live presentation. So hopefully there won't be any hiccups along the way. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and change camera. So I'm going to stop this sharing and then jump to my other screen. So hang on for a minute. All right, so I've got a couple emails, and these are real live examples. So here's an email that there was a thread, as you can see, of different information. And it was like, okay, so how should I reply to this email? So what I do is I click on Copilot and I say, how should I reply? Now I got in caps because I pressed the caps button. I didn't mean to do that, but maybe you'll get to read it better. So click generate, and there you go. So let's see, do I like, I want it, so there it is. And it's picking salmon because I like to eat salmon, because it knows from before that that's what I have picked in the past. And there you go. Then I say, keep it, and there's my answer. So I didn't have to dig through it. It ignored things I would have ignored. Another email, and this is a little bit, there's a little bit more on this one because there were some attachments. So I'm going to want to ask it to give a summary of the thread. So I just did a cut and paste here because I did write the prompt ahead of time, and I click generate, and there you go, starting to create the draft, and it read the whole content, and there you go. It says, let's see, look at this. This is a recommendation for investments. This is something I would have liked to be able to do in the past, and probably I would have caught just the first couple of recommendations, but it gave me my answer in just seconds. So that's great. And all I have to do now is look at and see if there's anything that is probably missed or I would have liked to say, and my answer is right there. So there you go on how to use Copilot with Outlook. And now I'm going to jump to Word, and let's see if I can move this. So so the two examples I have here is one, a chapter that Hernan and I wrote some time back, and I'm going to ask Copilot to give me a one-page summary on the several pages that were written. So maybe I can send to someone what that chapter is about. And so I'm asking it to rewrite the document so it fits in one page. So I asked Copilot to do that for me. I click it, and it starts working at it. Now, one of the things you may ask is like, well, I can do this with ChatGPT. True. The one thing that you got to notice right now is I don't have to jump around windows. I didn't have to bring ChatGPT on my browser. I didn't have to log in. Right from here, it's doing the work. So, and you can see as it's producing in front of you the summary that's going to fit in one page, and there you go. It keeps doing it, and um, and and there right here, it gives me some options. You know, what else would you like me to do? So should I paste it into my Word document or make it even more concise? So it gives you additional prompts and things you may want to use. So it's really, really, really convenient. The next example I'm going to show you is there's a document where there are bullet points, and I like this document to to format or rather, I want more of a polished draft to be done from these bullet points. So even though they're just highlights, I like a little more than what it's giving me right here. So I'm going to ask Copilot to do that for me. And so what it's going to do is going to, and you'll see that, is going to create the document and it's going to make it into a polished draft. So, and then, and from here, here we go. It starts plugging away, and you see how it is expanding, looking at some maybe documents I might have loaded before into Copilot, looking at the internet to verify some elements. And keep in mind that Copilot, like ChatGPT or any of the AI tools out there, you need to check the work. Does it make mistakes? Yes, of course it does. It's a tool, so you need to verify that the information that it's posting out there is in fact this makes sense and it's valid. But it's cut down the amount of work that you needed to do that you would have had to spend. So um, there you go. You have the tool in front of you, saving you a ton of time. And so those are my four examples. And in the interest of time, I'm going to let Mao give his two examples. But so keep this in mind, and when we go to the Q&A, ask questions about it. And if we do have time, we may be able to dig into a little bit more what other things going to do. In both these cases that I gave you, I can ask Copilot to write me the Word document, and then it will write the Word document and it'll ask me to download it. So, but with that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to Mauro, who's going to show you the examples for Excel and PowerPoint. Mauro,
Thanks,
take it away.
While you are there showing that screen, since I'll be sharing, JC is using a Windows computer like most of you. I'm using a Mac computer. This works on any platform, even from your cell phone. While JC is there, I wanted to point out that when you see on the right-hand side the Copilot panel, you'll see at the top that there are two icons. One is a briefcase, the other one is a world. Sorry. So the main difference is we were talking about security, and the briefcase means the information resides in the company. So all this information that is in here, it's a document that JC is working that is in our Microsoft 365 tenant, our environment for CIO Landing, and the data, it's there, did not reach internet. It's not publicly available. Now, on the other hand, if he save this document and share it with ChatGPT, by default, this will train ChatGPT model, which means this information will be shared with third-party companies, right? That's one of the benefits of using Copilot. If you go to the world icon instead of the briefcase, that means Copilot, please go to the web and do whatever you need to do, research or find anything you need. in internet, okay, even if you are sharing this information. So that's why it's so important to understand the security portion of Copilot. And with all that being said, I'll be sharing my screen, showing you a demo on Excel first. So let's go here. So what you are seeing on the screen, it's a profit and loss P&L report directly downloaded from QuickBooks Online. This is a sample LLC company, right? And numbers, categories, super simple document. But I want to show you how can we use Copilot to work with this data, right? And many of the things that I'm gonna do here can be done manually. I would say probably all of it can be done manually, right? What's the main difference? The time that it takes for me to do it using Copilot versus doing it manually. So let's say that I wanna, and again, I have as you see, the prompts preparing here, so I don't type all this, but let's say that I wanna highlight all the total rows that I have in here. Again, this is a P&L. I wanna, visualize real quick what are my totals for each category. So instead of going and do a conditional formatting for this, I can simply write in plain English, highlight in yellow all the cells that start with total. And what Copilot is telling me is what I understood, Mauro, based on your request, is that you want me to find the text total and apply this formatting. So yellow fill for the cell, so background, and black text. Is that okay? And I would say, yes, that's fine, apply it. And within 4 or 5 seconds, I do have, here it said total, show you this. I have all my totals highlighted. Again, few seconds for this. Now, Copilot has access to all this data. And the idea for Copilot is to be able to interpret this data. So you can ask questions and work with the data. So my next question will be, what is my total income, total expenses, and profit? So what Copilot will do is we'll read through this whole sheet of information. It will extract that data and summarize it or show me that specific data that I asked for. Okay. Sometimes it takes a few seconds, sometimes it takes almost a minute. It all depends on the size of the document and how much data it needs to access. And if everything goes as planned, you'll see in there in a few seconds what it's doing. It will tell you, I'm doing this. So I'm going through the distribution account column, which is column A, and I'm pulling the totals. So you asked me for total income, total expenses, and profit. So here are the results. And again, this is information that I can use to make decisions. So that's the idea of having this in here instead of going through the 61 rows that I have in here, right? And this can be a much larger document. The other thing that I can do is now that Copilot understands my numbers, I can start asking questions. So considering my total income, how much in percentage did I spend in social media? Copilot knows all the numbers. It will do the calculation. It will calculate also the percentage. And it's telling me that I spent about 3.2% of my total income on social media. Now, I think this is the most interesting part of all of this. This data is based on what I'm showing you, right? But the capabilities that Copilot has are pretty much limitless in the sense that it can access data outside your network to bring you information. So now I am not sure if 3.2% is good or bad for my business. I'm on average, above average, below average. So what I can do is from the same screen, ask Copilot, what's the average percentage spent in social media for small businesses in the Chicagoland area? So what Copilot will do is first, it says understanding your data. It's going through my data to see if they can find that. If not, then I allowed, and this is an option in here, I allowed Copilot to go and search into the web. I can, of course, disable this. And then it tells me that small businesses usually spend an average 14.5%, meaning I am below average. Okay. I don't need to go to Google. I don't need to do the research. I don't need to read 50 pages to understand where am I. I simply ask Copilot, right? So the other thing that I can do real quick is we can create pie charts with any type of charts, actually. We can do formatting. We can do all of that directly from here, okay? So again, as I said, this is faster than doing it manually. You can do it manually, but this is 10 times faster, okay? So there you go. This is the pie chart that I asked for, and I can simply, when it finishes, I can simply click here, and I will have it on a new sheet. There it is. I can keep adding and changing it as I would like. So shifting to Microsoft PowerPoint. What I'm showing you a Microsoft Word document. Well, because this is one of the capabilities that Copilot has. If you have a Word document, and this is the outline for today's presentation, okay? From here, you can go to PowerPoint. You can create a new PowerPoint, go to Copilot, and say, create a presentation from file. And then again, this is my file because it's already on my OneDrive. I can select the design, say this one here, right? And then Copilot will read the whole Word document. It will summarize it. It will create bullet points. And then it will divide it into slides. And it will tell me, you know, this is what I think. I can remove slides. I can add slides. I can change the order if I wanted to. You know, say generate slides. And again, within seconds, I will have a full presentation on a specific topic that we have created the outline in Word. And by the way, that outline was also created using Copilot. So that's the beauty of using Copilot. You can use it for every single thing that you need to do. Give it a minute. And there you go. I'll say keep it. And here you have a full presentation. Now, if you read this, you'll see that it also has the notes on why you put this in here. The other thing that you can do is, let me close this out. I'll say don't save. The other thing that you can do is create a presentation from a topic. So I can go to Copilot and say, create a presentation about the importance of setup MFA, multi-factor authentication. So this about the importance of setting up MFA. Same thing. I can select a design here real quick. And one more time, I will have the same experience where all the slides are created, but I didn't have to have all the bullet points. I just said, this is my topic, right? And you can be as specific as you want in there. Make sure you give it some context. The more context you give, the better the results. And once we have this in here, create this real quick.
If you're in a hurry and you need to put something together, just imagine how much time it saves you.
And again, here you have all the information with even the notes. And you can say, let's add a slide, right, about everyday uses of MFA. And this is just a slide. I don't want a whole presentation, but just, you know, add this piece of information in there. And within seconds, we have it. You can also summarize presentations. If someone sent you a long presentation, you can simply click in there and it will give you the summary of it. So this is a general idea of how you can use Copilot in PowerPoint.
Awesome, Mauro. Thank you. Thanks for putting those examples together. And I think we had some questions which we'll bring up
Yes.
in the Q&A.
There's one that actually relates to the Excel sheet that Mauro was sharing from Pam. If you have just one quick second to explain it, Mauro, she asked you just upload your document and it reads the P&L. Can you explain how Copilot is inside?
Sure. So one requirement for Copilot is your Word, any type of document, your document needs to live in OneDrive/SharePoint, needs to be not on your computer. So what happened is if you download a file, you simply download the Excel file, you double click on it, and when you open Copilot, Copilot will tell you, I need this file to be in OneDrive, and you click yes, and it automatically uploads the file and enables you to use it. You simply double click, open the file in Excel, and go to Copilot. There's nothing else needed.
Thank you. Was there any other question that, look at this, can Copilot clean up my emails?
There's 3 general questions that we can do. If you got, I'll read them in order here. Karen asked, can Copilot be used on standard network files versus SharePoint OneDrive?
No, the file needs to be in the cloud for it to work. It cannot reside on your computer or server. It needs to be in OneDrive or SharePoint.
Okay, Jonathan, I'm going to save your question for last. And Susan asked, can Copilot help me clean out my emails?
JC, do you want to expand on that?
Well, that's where it comes in, but really adds value. You can ask it to go through your emails and highlight what's really important and what I can push out for later and what things I really could just disregard, and I will do that. So it will help you clean up and organize your inbox. Of course, you're going to have to teach it a little bit because there's some, like, for example, if you're into social media and you want to get social media information, then you're going to have to be looking at things that otherwise may discard. So, with that caveat, you teach it like you would teach anyone.
Awesome. So Jonathan asked a question. He has Microsoft Copilot for 365 license and meet all the requirements, but the Copilot icon doesn't appear in my ribbon. Any suggestions on how to add it?
Come again. So Copilot, you have the license for Copilot, but it's not showing up on the application. Is that the issue?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Most likely there is an update needed on the application. So this Copilot needs a license, and you need to be using the Microsoft 365 applications. So if you have an old legacy license model, let's say you had 2019 or so, it won't work. But if you are a client, and if you're not a client anyway, please send me an email. I will post my email here in the chat, and I will gladly help you with that.
Okay, and we had one more quick question from Nico. He said, I'm in marketing, and one of the biggest problems we have is naming and organizing thousands of documents. Can Copilot automate this?
Automate the naming of files? I'm not sure if it will automate the naming, but it will help you if you give him a prompt saying, this is my naming convention or my standard, read through all these files, this folder, read all the files in this folder, and tell me if the name is correct or not, or how would you rename it. It will give you the proper name. Then you will need to manually copy and paste and rename the files. It won't rename the file itself, but it can give you the proper name if you give the guideline on how you would like those files to be renamed.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mauro, for answering those questions. And everyone, we are at the bottom of the hour, and this is the 30 minutes we took from you. We're going to post the recording on our website.